Hey, yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy, Evan, one half of MF Pearl. We got the other half sitting behind the camera making sure that we rolling. We got David back there.
Hey everyone.
Yes, sir. You know what it is. Another Wednesday. More good conversation. Legends only in the building live at MFHQ. Disclaimer. Live at MFHQ is in fact not recorded live. It's actually a pre-recorded program. This episode contains sexually explicit content, so feel free to do what you wish with that information. If you could be so kind of like, follow, and subscribe for me. We go a very long way. New episodes every Wednesday. Now back to the show. Yes, sir. Here we are, Wednesday. At least on the release date, it's actually Thursday, I think. But that's what we do. Hey, yo, man, really quick. This is gonna be the last episode before it's showtime. So make sure you guys go ahead and hit up mfpearl.com/grain to get your tickets to our 5-year celebration against the grain. It's gonna have live performances from KRYSTALL Poppin, A Billy Free and the Lasso, myself, Groovy Smokes, and Stan Z. Along with Midnight at the Laundromat, we're also going to have a badass market featuring Frontera, Moy the Artist, and La Planta. Let's get it. Tickets are nice and cheap, so make sure you guys go. Make sure you guys show out and see what's up. Make sure you guys continue to show some love to the channel, YouTube. Subscribe, share it. Make sure if you guys are listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, make sure you guys go ahead and give it a rating, share it, like it, save it, whatever you can do to show love. Follow us at MF Pearl on Instagram so that you can keep up with all of our content, including Midnight Sessions, along with MFHQ. But let's get back to the motherfucking show. Yo, our guest today is another one of our Midnight Sessions artists. So you know how we do it over here. But man, she's a legend. She's a legend in the building. That's what we do. She's been a musician. She said it in the episode. She's been a musician for about 10 years. She represents Central El Paso. Yes, sir. She's gone ahead and she's traveled out of the city by now. She's been far and far away. She's come back. She's gone away again. She's been doing music, dog. She is busy. She is an inspiration to a lot of musicians here. And she is one of the blueprints of the city when it comes to going ahead and taking your music from a hobby into a career. She's been able to work with some of the most respected names in hip hop. Baby Bash, Paul Wall, and one of my favorites, AK the Savior. Yes, sir. Underachievers, Beast Coast. What's up? She is fresh back in El Paso. She just came back from South by Southwest. I think we can call this a proper introduction to the new era of her journey in music. But she was finishing up with the band. And yeah, like I said, man, I think we're witnessing the new era of without further ado at the HQ, ladies and gentlemen. KRYSTALL Poppin.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, how y'all doing?
Yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I think that was my best motherfucking introduction.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay, and then before we get started, I do want to say this episode right here, sponsored by none other than Poppin' OG, baby. What's good with it?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Try to get that in both frames right there.
There you go.
All right, man. It's KRYSTALL, how we doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Feeling good. Feeling great. How are you?
I'm good. Always good. Always trying to be straight. I think you said you were running around all day, but in all honesty, for the last few weeks, and I guess for the last, you can remember, you've been running around.
Right.
You've
Yeah.
been busy.
It's been a real hectic 2 weeks for sure. Like 2-3 weeks. It's been like nonstop, but I love it. You know.
Hell yeah. So those nonstop was essentially a big part of that was South by Southwest.
Yeah.
Let's I would like to I think we could start there.
Yeah.
Just kind of recap South by Southwest a little bit and talk to us. Is that your first time doing it?
So it was my first time being an official artist. Like
Okay.
I've been out there like guerrilla style, you know what I mean? Like just popping in and out of the bars, just like making noise in the street, you know what I'm saying? Like I've done that plenty of times. But this was my first year, like where the festival invited me personally, like them, like we want KRYSTALL Poppin, like here's guest pass for all your team, like you know, like the royal treatment.
Yeah.
This was really the first time, and I was really excited about it because I've always wanted that. I was supposed to get it in 2020, but that was the year that everything shut down, so I didn't, you know, it was kind of like ripped out of my hands, and it was,
Yeah.
and you know, I just always wanted that redemption, and I finally got it.
Congratulations.
Thank
For
you.
sure.
Thank you.
What is that? Is that like a surprise drop when they hit you up for it, or is it something you kind of like talked to them preliminary for, so you already knew it was a possibility?
I knew it was something I wanted this year for sure, but I didn't know how I was gonna make it happen. I just knew that I was gonna make it happen, and I think just like through the drops that I have been doing, that like raised awareness to the people, to the organizers, and that's when they hit me up. I think they hit me up like in January about it, and
Hmm.
then I was like, oh shit, we go, here we go, let's do it.
Before getting reached out to them, like in other previous years, is
Mhm.
it something that you apply for, or do you just kind of have to
Um,
get hit up because you're getting
so
noticed?
you do like the way they say that you can make it happen is like you do apply. You know what I
Okay.
mean? But that just kind of like every year before this one, I
Hmm.
applied and I just never even got like a response ever.
Hmm.
So it just kind of feels a little hopeless to do it that way. You really just got to like know someone or someone has to notice you.
Yeah.
At least that's what I've seen. I it could be different for a lot of other people that's just how it went for me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
How many times what would you say is the first time if you remember trying to apply for South by
It
Southwest?
must have been like 20. When was the first time I was out there? I was out there performing my first album, Starstruck. So it must have been like 2016, 2017, because I remember performing those songs out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the guerrilla experience like? Is it? I
It's
mean,
real.
I feel like you gotta. I feel like you gotta go through it a little bit,
Oh
don't
yeah,
you?
you
You know what
have
I mean?
to. I
It's the
think like
experience.
if you skip that part, you miss a lot of development, I think, for sure. Like I
Yeah.
think you need that hardship or those hard times or those like, not so special moments in your artistry to develop you later on. So I'm glad I went through that. You're just kind of like you have like a stack of flyers that has your face on it, your past no one wants them. Like, people are turning you down. You have your CDs, you got like hopefully a street scene with you, just a group of your friends that have your merch on, and you're just trying to get everyone's attention. You're just like screaming in the middle of a crowd that everyone's screaming in. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the best way I could describe it. But it's really fun. Like it's definitely a learning experience. You're out there with all your dogs and shit.
Yeah.
The shows are real funny because it's like it's just like it's real unorganized, and it's like the next person, no, this person didn't show up, and it's real like it's hectic.
Yeah.
But I love it because it teaches you how to survive in the hecticness. You know what I mean? And as you go along in your career, stuff starts as it gets more serious, it gets more hectic, and you need to know how to move through those situations.
Hmm.
And if you don't, you can fail at a really important moment. And I think that I have found out a way how to like stay like grounded during those really hectic times.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Thanks to the earlier times.
Yeah.
Um, what does it look like when you're building this? I know they're not just like your street team, they're your team, and you
Yeah.
guys are just all kind of taking over the spot together. But what's this experience like, kind of building these people around you that you kind of want to take with you? Like, is it a little bit of trial and error? Or these people that you grew up with, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So I think I've been what really happened is a lot of us really just gravitated towards each other, and it started out just like homies in the studio.
Hmm.
That's really like my day one team members, like 3 a.m. DS Junior, LFDC, all the guys in LFDC. We've really been like day ones, and I think before they were actually like calling themselves my team, we were just homies that were kind of like doing our own thing, and we kind of like lived in the same world, and we are around each other, and we just kind of like felt it was cool to be around each other all the time. And then through that, I think like our talents just kind of like started crossing over. And as my career started progressing, then a lot of the guys were just like helping me a lot more. And then it started becoming like a consistent thing.
Hmm.
And then now you see DS Junior becoming my manager. Then you see 3 a.m. becoming my DJ because I was touring so much. And I
Yeah.
was like, I need a DJ and I don't trust anyone. You know my music. And he was already DJing before I invited him. He was like starting to DJ and stuff. And I was like, dude, like this makes a lot of sense. We've been on stage together because he's also an artist, so we've rapped on stage together and stuff. We were in a rap group together. Like LFDC originally, a lot of people don't know, is a rap group. It was me, 3 a.m. and Mikey Cloud,
Okay.
and we were LFDC. And the media team developed from that. And they're all my
Man.
boys, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was cool. It was cool that took off, for sure.
That's a powerhouse right there.
Yeah.
That's super cool. I mean, okay, so then when it comes to working with 3M and kind of feeling like you can't really trust no one else, is that
Yeah.
something that you feel you get like that feeling?
Hmm.
Um, is that something you kind of already had going in? Like, oh, I don't know about this shit. This shit can get, like we said earlier, hectic. Or is that something that you kind of had to find out the hard way a bit and then backtrack and were like, no, I'm not gonna just let anyone into this.
Well, I mean, also along the way, like we've had before three was my official DJ. We had worked with other DJs, you know what I mean? And it was kind of it just felt like a I'm here for the gig, you know what I mean? And it's been like really cool guys like Angel Valentin has DJ'd for me. Jason Craig has DJ'd for me before. Like a lot of my like friends have DJ'd for me, but I didn't know if it was like gonna be like you're my DJ, go on tour with me, you know? Like they have their own thing going on, their own lives, their own careers. And I when me and Three started jumping on stage together, it felt like, oh, this is a thing, you know? So that was really cool. Definitely throughout this time, there have been people that had tried to come into the situation that just didn't work out. Like we just didn't completely vibe, or like they just weren't all the way right for the, to be around the team and stuff. But I think that, my team has been pretty solid for a couple years already, for sure. Hmm.
I guess on a more, a little bit of a technical, or not technical question, but like on a more strict, like strictly just straightforward business question. When it comes to like managers and labels, what's been your experience with that? Because I know that there's like a fine line and there's like a difference between the two. Like
Yeah.
just because you have a manager doesn't mean you're like a signed artist or anything.
Right. No, no, no.
What's your
Okay.
opinion on both?
So I was blessed enough to get Diaz Jr. on my management pretty early on.
Had he already been a manager for other artists?
So he was kind of managing Three
Okay.
a little bit, and they were doing a lot of work together. And I think through Three, he was learning, that role a lot. And then when I came into the picture, I was getting a lot of opportunities, and I needed a lot of help with them. And he was just very knowledgeable, and he was around. So they were like, hey, like help KP. So he was like, all right, let me help you with this. And he just started he started becoming a really important part of the situation. And then I was like, dude, like you should be my manager, like official title, like be my manager. And he was down, you know what I mean? And that's when we moved out of town. We're like, let's go do this thing for real. So yeah, you can definitely have a manager without being signed. Me and Diaz Jr. never had a contract, which I feel is the reason we were able to stay so solid
There's no
for
pressure
so
on
long.
it?
There's no
Yeah.
pressure. There's no like expectations. We just believed in each other and that much to take it as far as we have. And when a label gets involved, they don't always provide. They don't have to provide the manager. You know what I mean? A lot of the times you can go into a label with your manager, and then like that's your manager that carries you through. It's so like
Was it scary for
gray.
you when
It's
you
gray
first got
area. It's
introduced to
gray
it?
area. Yeah. But I have had experience with labels. Actually, a couple labels. They've been like smaller labels, like branches of big labels. And what I will say is that when they were trying to bring me on, I wasn't all the way um I hadn't really all the way realized myself as an artist. So it was really easy for them to kind of try to tell me who to be and what to do. And I was just trusting them because like they're a label, like they know what they're talking about. Let me just do whatever they're saying. So there was a period of time where I was just listening to what people were telling me, and it just didn't go well. It just was not what I wanted. And it was really, when people say like sell your soul, like it was real like do what we say and what you want doesn't matter because this is what's going to make you famous. And going that route, I hated it. I started getting like depressed. I was getting physically sick. Like I was not happy with the music I was making at that time. I was not happy with the way like my business was being handled. Like there was just a lot of shady stuff going on, and it was really making me regret like working with them in the first place. And I remember like during one of these times I had come home after the studio working with that label, I was like, damn, like I remember those times like being in the studio with the homies and like just doing what we wanted. And I just started crying, and I was like, you know what, that's what I want, and this is not it for me, and I don't care what that means. So I told the label, I was like, I'm parting ways with you guys. This is not what I want for my career. And that was one of the best things that I could have done for myself for sure. Because after that, that's when I started, like, I was determined to find myself as an artist, to find out who I was, what I wanted to do, what my intentions were to in this industry, like what did I want to gain from this. And I challenged myself, I developed my skill a lot more, and I feel like it led me here.
Yeah.
You know,
You found your identity.
I found my identity. Yeah, yeah. And it was like, and it was kind of like in revenge to what I had been through, someone telling me who I was. And a thing that would get me mad when I would have meetings with this label was they would be like, you're not you're not hard, like stop trying to be hard, like be you're a girl, like
Fit in this mold.
fit in this mold, be the next Cardi B. Like that's what you need to be. That's who you are. And then I would just be like, what are you talking about? Like that's not who I am. That's not me. Like you don't know what you're talking about. And they would just kind of like discredit my experiences in life. You know what I mean? Like I would be like, I've been through more than you can tell. I've been through more than what I look like. And
So it just felt like a machine. You just like entered a
yeah.
machine.
Yeah, and it was very like it was very soul crushing.
Yeah, no, I
You know
bet.
what I mean? And it was so sad, like for what I would been. And then another thing that I was like, it's a big red flag. I want all this artists to know is that if you enter a situation and they want you to automatically get rid of everyone around you, that is a red flag. And that's what this label wanted to do. They wanted me to get rid of everybody. They wanted me to get rid of 3 of DS, like my girl, Wish You Could, Joss. She was like working with me at the time too. She was doing a lot of PR for me and stuff. She was connecting a lot of dots. And they just wanted me to separate me from everybody. And I like, that's when like it started going downhill for real.
So it's like splitting you from what was you.
Yeah, like they were detaching me from who I was and who I like came to them as, and they were trying to turn me into this completely different product. And nah. And I can see how a lot of artists would agree with it. A lot of artists, like, they'll be like, yeah, cool, like if this is gonna make me money and get me famous, like let's do whatever, you know. And that's how you end up in like that dark side of the industry, you know what I mean? But that just wasn't for me. That just wasn't my route. And the reason I make music is not to get famous or to have clout or nothing like that. The reason I make music is because it heals my soul.
Yeah.
And I was not making music or doing things that healed my soul, so I hated it, and I never want to do that again.
There's like a moment where you realized, I guess, not so much like who you were, identity. I think a lot of that got gained back by the moment, but
yeah.
also the realization of like what the reason behind your music is
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, and in a way, look, I am happy that I went through it. I'm happy that I stayed true to myself and got through that, because I learned so much during that time. Like I learned what I didn't want. Like now, if I were to walk into a label meeting or something like that, now I know what to look for. Now I know what to not say no to. Now I know like who I am. Like no one can tell me who I am now. Like I know what I want. I know what I want out of this. I know what I need to ask for. I'm a lot more knowledgeable now, and I was a lot more gullible back then, for sure. And I learned, I definitely learned a lot. There is a bright side to what I
Yeah.
went through, for sure.
Yeah, without it, I mean, you could be right here, right now, like this far into your career, barely going through an experience, and then
Exactly.
doing. Oh man, there's a lot more foundation to fall now.
Yep.
So it's cool that you went ahead and like sharpened that sword earlier on.
Yeah.
Was that like a thing that like kind of closed the door on that idea for you? Like, is this something that kind of made you decide for like as far into your career as you possibly can, you want to go labelless?
I definitely want to be signed. I like
Okay.
that is a dream
Yeah.
of mine to get signed, but I know what kind of deal I want
okay,
now.
okay,
I
I feel
know who I'm taking to the table with me. Like I know what to I know I've seen a lot of contracts already,
Yeah.
so I know what to look for in contracts. I know what to take out or to ask, like remove this. I'm a lot more knowledgeable in that game now, you know.
Yeah.
So I feel like I definitely want to be signed for sure.
Yeah.
And I feel like a label can take me to where I want to go. Like I want to perform in arenas like in Japan, you know, like that's
Yeah, yeah.
my dream for sure for my
International
music.
tour,
Yeah.
just on the flyer, the UK dates.
Yeah, exactly.
feel
Like
you.
that's my biggest dream for
Yeah.
sure.
On with your team, are you the type that at least in the beginning, like let's say they're taking care of stuff, they're learning things, like you said with Joss, she's doing a lot of the PR.
Hmm.
Is this something that like when you're first kind of learning about it as she's doing, as she's helping you and everything,
Yeah.
are you kind of like shadowing a bit because you want to know how to do it yourself too, or do you kind of like put all your trust into your team and kind of let them handle it while you just sort of?
I think I'm definitely involved in a lot of what my team is doing because after that label situation, I definitely took like the front seat.
Okay.
I was kind of like just being the artist before that. I was just kind of like, y'all do your thing and cool, like we're doing good,
Yeah.
But now I'm involved. Like I'm in the driver's seat. I'm the one like kind of directing the team a lot more now. Like even like this South by trip, like I organized it versus like letting someone else handle it, and like I wanted to make sure we were doing what we needed to get done.
Like you made the decision, for example, to get the sponsorships.
Yeah, I was the one calling up the people, like making sure like this and that and this. I have like a whole like notebook full of like this is what they donated and this is their logo and this, you know what I mean? Like I got my boss shit after that whole thing happened. And it feels good because I feel in control. I feel like a lot of the times before I didn't know what was going on business-wise. Like people would ask me questions about my business and I didn't know how to answer because I wasn't involved. And now it's like I know everything going on around my business right now.
Yeah. Outside of, I guess, music experiences, do you try to find knowledge from that elsewhere? Like, are you the type to maybe like, I don't know, watch YouTube videos on it? Or anything? Like, read a book
Dude,
on
I'm
business
such a student. I
Yeah.
love learning. I'm always like, if I definitely like tell myself to turn off the music and then to look for inspiration somewhere else. So like I'm always in the movies. I'm always like looking for inspiration through books. Like I look for like Rick Rubin, he's one of my like YouTube gurus that I go to that definitely I learn a lot from. Like I love learning. Like learning is so like interesting to me for sure.
What type of stuff is it that you'll go to when you're like? Because I like that you said that. I like that you said that you'll go to other pieces of media. Because when I approach music, I try to approach in a very storytelling way, very like linear. And I mean, we're the best places to find stories, books, movies, and all that. So like, what type of like what's the last off the top of your head? What's like the last thing that you could feel inspired by that was either something that was not music that like kind of translated
Something
into
that was
music?
not music, dude. I read the Bible every morning.
Yeah.
And I get like so inspired by what's going on in the Bible because it's teaching you about life.
Okay.
And that applies to everything, you know what I mean? And I get a lot of inspiration from that to my music. Like I even started writing differently after I started reading the Bible. It was so crazy. Other than that, just movies for sure. Like
so.
Dune, oh my God.
Yes,
Like
yes.
I was like,
Yes.
oh my God.
It's such a good movie.
It was like giving me tingles and stuff, and it was just like sparking something within me. And I was just like, and I love when things do that because I know it's gonna translate to the music.
You think it? I mean, not just music, but like I know you're gonna try to pull some ideas from there visually for like a music video or
Oh
something.
yeah,
right? You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
I
Like,
was telling people, I was like, oh my God, look, imagine us apocalyptic and like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, for sure, definitely. Other than that, what was that? What else? I mean, I also like I know this is still music, but I love to watch people perform.
okay.
Although I'm always like
Okay,
researching
yeah.
people's performances,
choreography and
stuff.
everything.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking that up all the time.
You ever nerd out like on like paying attention to how someone could be moving left and right on the stage and be like, yo,
Oh, yeah.
their breath control, dude.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
just
You
keeping
pay
breath
attention
and
to
everything
little
like that.
things like that, the way they hold the mic, what they're doing in between songs. Like I'm noting everything a lot other than just them when they're singing the song,
Yeah.
like that's another thing. But I'm just like, what else are they doing? Like, why did they wear this? Like, I'm looking at a lot the lighting, like a lot of stuff, for sure.
Yeah, I feel that for sure. I feel like that's where you get the most inspiration from. One might think it's all from like listening to other rappers,
Yeah.
but I think even with music, like, do you feel like you get a lot of your sound lately from stepping out of your genre?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for
I feel
sure.
the same way. I listen to a lot of like jazz or like Spanish indie and stuff,
Yeah.
and it'll translate into the hip hop.
Yeah, I think that helps you stay versatile.
Yeah.
Because if you stay listening to hip hop all the time, I think we're also noticing is like it's all starting to sound the same. Like you're not really getting like a refreshing like sip of anything right now because everyone's just copying everyone and everyone just sounds the same.
Stale.
Yeah, it's getting stale, and I think that people are starting to say that. I'm seeing a lot of interviews from like rappers that are saying like rap is getting stale, like hip hop's dying, and I'm like, well, it's because we're just all listening to each other doing the same thing. Like we need to, dude. Yesterday, I never really listened to country, and I was like, I'm gonna throw on some country because I know country's good at storytelling, and I was like, I wanna get into my storytelling bag. Like I'm gonna throw on some country, and I was just listening to country. I didn't really know the artist, you know. I can't tell you what they even look like a lot of times, but there's inspiration there, you know, that I probably wouldn't have pulled from had I not thrown that genre on for the moment,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, you never know. You might be listening to like some black metal, and there's this crazy bridge that kind of calms down a bit. You're like, I would have never heard this because I don't step out of that genre.
Exactly, dude. Yeah.
When we're talking, let's talk about writing a little bit. You
Yeah.
know how you said that getting into the Bible kind of switched your writing.
Yeah.
Would you say that you've gone through other sorts of like shifts, and like, I'm sure day one to day now is completely different
Oh,
writing
yeah.
process, both from like your confidence in it to the style of it,
Yeah.
your understanding of bars and syllables. What sort of like stylistic shifts do you think you've gone through though, where like your subject matters may be changing a lot?
So when I first started writing, I definitely was more like for instance, my first album, Starstruck, I think you can tell I'm sad inside a lot, and it's more poetic, it's more dramatic. But I can tell like my the way I'm using syllables and stuff was not as developed as it is now.
Mhm.
For sure. I think like I got better in that, like, you know, like the patterns I'm using, the way I land the lines, the words, where they're landing according to the beat. I'm paying attention to that more versus there I was just kind of like spilling it all out. Um I'm more melodic now for sure. I also have more vocal control. I've learned how to like use my voice properly versus when I first started for sure. Um, I've also like studied a lot of like patterns. Like I like to study patterns and
Like, you're
through
talking like flows?
flows and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, like whether it be through a rapper or through like YouTube videos and stuff, like people actually just literally talking about how to change your flow.
Yeah.
And I apply a lot of that for sure.
Mhm.
Now when I'm writing, I think I went through like that poetic, like just like throwing it all up, depressed girl,
Yeah.
and then I started switching to like bops, because I didn't know I could make a bop. Like when I was in the Starstruck era, I was like, am I ever gonna make a bop? Like just a fun, like whatever, like, you know, carefree song. And then the first bop that I dropped was Timmy Taw. And I was so excited to drop that song because it brought me out of like that depression era that I had. And it just was like, you know how to have fun, you know how to turn up and show everyone how to have fun,
Yeah.
you know? And so that era started happening, and I dropped a lot of songs. Like I started dropping a lot of bops. But then that's when the label found me, and they thought you're gonna be the bop queen, and that's all you are, and forget about everything else in your life. And I'm like, that's not what's gonna happen. No, that's not who I am. Like as a piece of me, I can do that, but that's not who I'm ultimately gonna be known as.
Yeah, you don't just extract that out of me. Like if I'm
Yeah.
not feeling that, I'm not gonna. Yeah.
Exactly, for sure. So after I dropped the label, that's when I think I started getting more aggressive. And I feel like it happened obviously because of like I wanted revenge on like all the time I had lost, like, and all the challenges I faced. So I started getting more aggressive, and I started writing a lot differently for sure. Like I was a little more angry. I think after that, that's when I wrote Rebelde, HBIC, like anymore, you know, like in that bag. With Riot 10, I started making Riot 10 music and
Mhm.
stuff. And now I think after that, um, what I feel like what I'm going into now is a lot more mature. And I think what I'm doing now is kind of like showing off what I know musically. I think that's where I am now. And I'm kind of also implementing a lot of the music I like. So I like my favorite band is The Killers. I know a lot of their like I could sing their songs in my sleep, like
Yeah. Hell yeah.
literally. Like they were my favorite band
For sure.
forever,
What's
like
your
since
favorite
high
song from
school.
them?
Yeah, my favorite song. Um that's a hard question because I like every song of theirs, you know what I mean? But like from Hot Fuss, it's like Jenny was a friend of mine.
Mm.
Of course, Mr. Brightside. Um, let me see.
You got Sam's Town.
Sam's Town.
That was
There
a
was
good
a
song.
lot of music on there. definitely
It just depends on the day.
Miss Atomic Bomb. Like just like it depends on the mood because
Yeah.
every album has a mood.
Yeah.
And I think that like I was just throwing them on the other day, and I was just like sing like I'll clean. I like cleaning to them, so I'll just be like screaming at the top of my lungs all their songs and stuff. And I have like a theory about I have a fan theory
Oh, what's
about
this?
the Killers. Yeah, I hope they don't hate me. This is a fan. This is a super fan. This is a super fan. This comes from love. But I don't know. Just like when I listen to their albums, I feel like they're trying to tell me that like he had a girlfriend named Jenny, and I don't know if he killed her. And then
Oh, dang.
he sacrificed her.
dark.
I know, like I don't know. Look, this is just me like going like in this this fandom
It's
world.
true
you know what
crime
I mean?
here.
I know it's because he always mentioned this girl Jenny. You know what I mean?
okay.
And then like the way he says like I took my baby's breath underneath the chandelier of stars and atmosphere, and I'm just like,
Did you just kill her?
Did you kill her? Like what is going on here? And then there's actually like it's crazy. But I'm just a super fan.
The fan fiction.
Fan fiction, yeah. I have
Yeah.
fan fiction. That's how hardcore of a fan I am.
That's cool.
But yeah, like there's just bands that I like rock. I like The Doors, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd. Wish You Were Here is one of my favorite songs for sure. A lot of that genre. Oldies plays a big part of my music because every Sunday I'm jamming those hoes. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff that I like. There's even this like playlist I have called Sad Songs, like that I play like when I just want to get really really sad, because when I get really sad, that's when I feel the most, and that's when I like produce like these songs that I feel can help heal other people.
Do you think there's a correlation between like the amount of pain and how much you're sensitive to feeling things?
Yeah, for sure. Because I feel like, well, for me personally, I feel like my pain, I could feel it in my heart. Like when I'm going through something, it feels like my heart's being pierced, and then it goes deep, but there's no like bottom to the depth. Like it can go deeper and deeper and deeper, and like I literally have to hold my heart like when it hurts, and then it makes me cry like weep. It makes me weep like I can't breathe. You know what I mean? But after I have those like experiences, like episodes that I have, then it feels like a relief. And after that, then I can write from a really honest, true perspective of feeling, because I feel like music is feeling, and a lot of times when people make music, they don't put feeling in, and you could tell. You know, and I feel like a lot. That's why people feel hip hop is stale, because there's no feeling in it. It's like
It's a
there's no
machine.
emotion. It's a machine. It's automatic. It's something you've heard before. It's But when I'm when I'm experiencing pain and I express myself through my pain, I feel like that's my truest form.
Right.
For sure. Like that's my truest emotion. That's my most honest place to
Right.
create from.
Do you think trying to implement some of the other genres of music that you listen to, like you're trying to implement it now into your music?
Yeah.
Do you feel like because like they're not over here rapping like long ass 16-bar verses or anything? So
Yeah.
do you think it's also like slowing your writing down, making you write less, like making you make each bar like a little bit more like one bar counts as like four, kind of, you know what I mean?
That definitely happens. For some songs, I think some songs I'm like, every line, no line can be wasted. That's where I'm at now for sure. Unless it's like a transitional line, you know?
Yeah, of course.
If it's transitioning for sure. But I definitely feel that I'm at the point where I can't waste a line. You know, like every line has to mean something or say something or show you something or show something off. Whether like if the line doesn't actually like say anything, like if it's just a whatever line, but I'm showing you some sort of skill on there, like I'm rapping it really fast or like I'm giving you like a certain pattern, I think I'm doing that. I definitely am keeping in mind the fact of like attention spans are not what they used to be. Like I was listening to a song. It was an oldie song. I think it was like 5 minutes. And after it finished, I was like, damn, it was such a damn good song. And I was like, damn, songs aren't 5 minutes anymore. You know, like it was tripping me out. And I was like, dang, like that's crazy that we reached this point. And it made me realize like, yeah, I have to make sure to keep people's attention using different tools, like keeping it interesting, switching it up every couple bars, like making sure that there's like ear candy for them at certain moments. Like I definitely keep that in mind.
Do you feel that's a little, well, as you as a listener, Do you feel like you've also started to have your attention span be a little like you don't even find yourself listening to 5 minute songs that often?
Right.
Cause I still, man, like, some of my favorite songs. "Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst" is one of my favorite songs. That's a
Oh.
12-minute song.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, for
yeah.
real. So like, how do you feel you've also evolved as a listener, if you have?
I think I can for the songs that aren't saying anything, for the bops and stuff, I won't like I won't give it too much time.
Hmm.
But if something's captivating me, I definitely will. I'll sit there and give you my time
Like, can
for
you still
sure.
run through albums start to
Oh, I
finish?
love running through albums. I
Yeah.
have to run through albums. Like Kendrick for sure is one of my favorites for sure.
Hmm.
Lil Wayne, I can't wait for him to drop his album because I'm gonna sit there. I know I'm gonna bump Wayne's album like for months for sure because Wayne is one of my biggest influences for sure.
Hmm.
Um, I listen to that shit all day, every day. Um, but people who I know, like, there's artists that I'm like,
They're not really albums no more. They're just
nah,
they're either I
I'll
guess
give
you
it
would call it
one
a mixtape,
listen.
but like a compilation of just random songs,
Yeah,
and they just package it together now.
yeah, yeah. If
So.
that happens, that you won't get too much of my time. But if it's a great piece of work,
Mhm.
I will give you a lot of my time.
Yeah.
Hmm.
When you let's continue on with the writing a bit. Do you feel like the next chapter of KP of Crystal Poppin? Do you think a lot of the writing is also going to be in tie with the fact that you are also trying to integrate or are fully integrating a live band into your music now?
Definitely, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. Now I'm noticing like I just made a song the other day, and when I started writing, I was like, all right, so what can I do with the band? Like, what can the band do right here? And like, it was cool because I was like, that really didn't happen. Like, I don't know if you know this, but in 2017, I had a band, but it was like a secret band, and we made a bunch of music, and it's unreleased, and
Oh shit.
it'll come out. Like now, with it's cool that I'm in this era now because now that music's gonna start coming out, but uh that was like the only other time that I was like keeping like that mentality of like, oh, like the band can do this and we can do that live. Like I'm thinking of that setting. But yeah, now I'm back there. Now I'm definitely creating with the band in mind. And I'm already getting people like asking to book the band. So now this is like a thing, like it's here. So I'm creating with them in mind for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of logistics and stuff now that you're having to consider too with them right now,
Yeah,
like
definitely.
travel, new booking prices,
Yep.
everything like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, dang, you could really call this a new chapter, man. Like for
Yeah.
real. How was it performing with them at South by? Was that sort of like the biggest public performance with them?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It was crazy because I don't really get stage fright anymore.
Okay.
I get like really an adrenaline rush and it's exciting for me. And I get pumped. But at South by, I was getting a little nervous because I was like, this is something new. Like this is brand new for me, you know? And the midnight session really I feel prepared me mentally for that moment for
Yeah.
sure. Because I think that I didn't feel like I was going in there just like fresh,
Fresh.
like fresh, super brand new. Like it was kind of rehearsed a little bit. It was kind of like I felt um like we've gone through this before. We like the cameras and stuff, like we've been here. And but still I was nervous because I was like there's an audience and like, oh my god, like how am I going to sound? Like this is the real thing. And we fucking killed it, dude. Like it was so cool. And I think what I'm noticing as well performing with live music is I feel it more. Like I feel the beat more. And I think like when I'm performing with a track, um it's not that's not like it's not like
Hitting.
hitting me like that, and it's really cool because I can translate that feeling to my performance.
So the
And
energy is different.
the energy is different for sure. It's really cool. I really I love it. I love it.
I think my favorite part of a live band is the flexibility of the set.
Yeah.
If like something happens and you maybe don't jump in, it's all right. The band could just loop it one more time.
Yeah.
A DJ could too. But that also, like, having the band probably also unlocks 3 a.m. a little bit more
Oh
too. Now he has a
yeah,
little bit more
dude.
freedom to like do more stuff because he has
Dude,
more
it's
instruments.
it's so cool because we still like 3 a.m. still there. Like he's a part of the band.
Yeah.
So he's in there like he's
I think that
doing
like keeps it grounded in hip hop
that's
too, like legit.
exactly what it does, dude. It's so crazy. It's
Yeah.
like it's not like it's like KP's a rocker now. Like that's not really. I mean, there's rock elements
Yeah.
now, but it's still like I'm a rapper up there with a band, and
Mhm.
it's so sick. It's so cool because I still have 3 a.m. He's hyping, like he's hitting like the poppin', poppin', poppin'. You know, like he's
Yeah,
hitting
fuck
them
yeah.
buttons still. Like it's it feels like you're watching a rap performance, but you just like it's oof, it's dirty. It's
Yeah, yeah,
dirty.
the band was 3 a.m. Mish, and there was one more, right?
And Nico.
What was he playing?
Nico was drums.
Drums? Okay,
Mhm.
so you did have live drums still?
Yeah, we had
Oh man.
drums, guitar, and then 3 took care of the rest.
Man. Well, what's your ideal setup? Is it that or would you want to add in
I
like
I
live
I do
bass?
want the bass. Yeah, I do want the keys, even if I could get
Yeah.
horns in there,
Yeah,
you know what I
dude, some
mean? Like,
horns for
yeah,
real.
definitely down the line for sure. But
Yeah.
like according to logistics, people, availability, like I need to reach the point where I am employing people fully and then this is their gig and like that like we'll get there, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're looking ahead at
Yeah.
points in your career like that, how are you kind of visualizing this? Because whenever I start to look ahead, it's dangerous for me. Because now I start pacing the room that I'm in, and I start
Oh
getting anxious and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
How do you ground yourself and like plan? How do you like make a dream possible for yourself?
So I definitely keep the big picture in mind. That arena in Japan is always in the back of my head, but I try to think of it like one day at a time, one week at a time, one month at a time. So I try to like figure out what do I need to happen this month, then then I start breaking it down to weeks. I'm like, okay, so I got to take care of this and this and this. And then it's like, what am I doing today? And I keep a lot of notebooks around me. I keep calendars around me all the time, like writing it down. Like I can't just have it on my phone, like, cause I forget shit. So I'm just like, no, like I need it like in my face right here. I have so many notebooks and stuff all around. I have office supplies all over the place just so like I can grab a pen and like make sure I'm jotting stuff down, like brain dumping and stuff all the time. And that keeps me like moving forward and being like progressing and being productive for sure. So I just kind of like try to break it down to what I can handle, like what can I get done today, like today I'm taking a road trip right after this, you know what I mean,
Mhm.
but we made this work. Like I knew this had to happen before I left. So making sure that I prepared everything else during the week to in order to be here today to like because I was really excited about this interview, you know what I mean, because I was like I really love the midnight sessions. I really love like you guys working with you guys. Like this is a really dope experience, and I want to show people that like I care about El Paso, and I'm here like with you guys, you know, for sure. And um like there's just like haters online that's just like, what has she done for El Paso? And I'm just like I love El Paso.
That's
Like
crazy
I
that you
wanna
that you've received some of that.
yeah.
I've never. I don't think I've ever felt that way about you. I feel like you've been born and raised here,
Mhm.
and you've always like
The daughter of El Paso.
you held it down here.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm
and I'm
saying?
always repping like as much as I can because I want people to know that we're dope. Like I think the coolest thing about El Paso is that we're so far from everybody, and that forces us
see.
to be our own thing and have our own flavor. You know, like a little, like that's us.
Yeah.
Like that's something special, and we're also on the border. Like, it was crazy because I was just driving on the freeway like next to UTEP, and it was really windy the other day, and then I saw the dirt going from Juarez to over here. And I was like, motherfucker, like we're dusting, like we're sweeping Juarez dirt from our porches. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like
yeah,
like we
true.
are we are together with Juarez. Like we have something so special here that a lot of cities have. And I was just like, man, I was like appreciating that fact, you know? And I love that we have our own culture. And I think that the art here is amazing. Like people don't give us enough credit. Like we don't give ourselves enough credit for what we have here, you know? For instance, my brother Frontera, like he represents like that border flavor, and it like shows through his work, and I love that about us. I can't wait till we're like more discovered, and that's why it makes me so proud to like represent El Paso and like to show people like we got some shit down here, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Hell yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like, especially when it comes to like like visual arts,
Yeah.
because I consider the clothing and fashion to go and be a part of visual arts as well. It's something you can see. It's not really like an audio experience,
Mm.
and when you look at everything, I feel like that was an important sentence for you to say. Like, I don't think we give ourselves enough credit.
Yeah.
And what do you think is an example of that? I want to give you a suggestion and then just
Yeah.
see if you agree with it.
Okay.
Do you think us being too competitive is an example of us not giving ourselves enough credit? Like,
You mean like competitive with
with
each
each other?
other?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'll definitely knock.
Because now we start to undermine each other a bit,
Yeah.
and now we're all kind of just undervaluing.
For sure. Yeah, that definitely is present. That's definitely something like if we supported each other more and uplifted each other more and just was like, rooting for each other more, we would shine more. And then other people would be like, what's, because it's that whole like, no one's gonna like you until someone else does. Well, what if we liked each other? Like, people would be like, why did they fuck with each other so hard down there? Like, what's going on? Definitely for sure. But another thing I feel like is people here like to complain about the city and like the people here. Like, I don't think we should be complaining about what we got. I think we should be using what we got, you know? For sure. Like we have a lot of stuff here that a lot of people don't, and we need to use it more and like be proud of it. And we just need to be more proud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are these things that you kind of knew kind of going in, or do you think stepping away from El Paso and then coming back kind of helped you see that a little bit better?
I think cuz I think I was there too, but just blinded in mix. And then stepping away from it and seeing other cities, their cultures, the way they work, the way they function and stuff, um, made me appreciate El Paso more because I'm like, it made our color, like what we are, like shine more to me because I was like, no one does this. What we do, our shape, our color, like no one has that. And it made me like really, really appreciate El Paso. The food, the moms,
Oh
the way
yeah,
they
the
like,
food.
The grandmas.
the way they are with us and stuff, like it's really cool.
Mhm.
A lot of cities don't have what we have, and
Yeah.
we need to recognize that.
What do you think that we could like as a music community and as an artistic community? What when you went ahead and gone over to LA, you've been to Houston. What are some of the things that you feel like we can maybe pull from that can help improve our community?
I
A little
see a lot of things in LA. It's constant collaboration, constant. Like there's houses where like it's like come to this event to collaborate. Like we're working together. We're creating. There's content houses out there where it's like you go there and everyone meets there and that you're just making content with each other. Boom, boom, boom. Like getting on each other's TikToks, getting on each other's Instagrams, like stuff like that. You're just creating constantly together. Like videographers are working with videographers, photographers. Like you're just there's a constant mix out there in LA. That's why you go there. You know what I mean? Because you want to be thrown into that mix, and we could have that here too. Like that's what I'm saying. Like what you're doing is really cool because you're kind of like starting up that movement, and if everyone kind of supported you or just thrown themselves in the mix with you and stuff like we can like get that going a little more because I know there's all other creators here that do similar things that maybe can get a lot like more attention or be a lot like make more impact if you join forces, like you could still have your own thing, like you could still be MF, like they can have their whatever, but if you guys were just like boom, like
Put that
collaborate
X
on
in
this.
the middle.
Yeah,
Mhm.
collaborate right there, like there's a thing right here, boom, like it just like it's just, and then you're bringing more people on, like I think we should definitely do that.
That creates like a positive cycle,
Yeah.
and then everyone starts doing it.
Yeah, for sure. And then you're inspiring others who think about doing it that don't have like aren't doing it that but they want to. They are photographers but they aren't out there collaborating. Like maybe they did photography in the past and they put it down for a little while and they want to be a part of that, but maybe they don't see something, they're not inspired, or if they saw a lot of that going on, like they'll jump into the mix too, like you bring people out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, it like establishes the tone, sets the standard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I love it. I love seeing that. I love seeing this.
There's a lot more. There's just so much opportunity. I feel if like, I mean, not always, but a lot of the time, two heads are better than one. So I do agree with that sentiment, just about that.
We also need to learn how to show each other love more, for sure.
I saw you say that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like show each other love here because everyone's doing what you want to do, or someone's doing what you want to do. Like if you show each other love, like it'll multiply because when I threw my release party for Poppin' OG, I was like, I'm gonna put a show together. Like, I want artists to perform, and the only artists I'm gonna put on are the people who showed me love. And that's the people that performed, was the people who showed me love, who has supported me in some way, shape, or form, who, shot me a DM and was like, you know what, like, you're doing your thing, like, keep going. Like, their love, like, got them on that stage.
Yeah.
Like, little do they know, you know what I mean? And also, not only that, but I think they're amazing artists, for
Mhm.
sure. Like, I love their music. Everyone on that stage, like, I was, like, having a great time listening to them perform,
Yeah.
for sure. Like, because, I mean, we got the talent. Like, that's a given.
Yeah.
You got the talent, like, show some love to others who got talent, you know? And I think that, I don't know what it is a lot of times, but people sometimes don't have love for me that are artists, which is fine. Like, I don't demand. I'm not one of those artists that, like, I've done this, you have to respect me. Like, don't respect me. Respect me, like do you. But when you don't respect me, you don't get access to me. And you're just like hurting yourself when you don't show me respect, because I'm very knowledgeable, I'm very experienced, I know what I'm doing, I know where I'm going. And you're just like cutting yourself off from that, when you don't want to show me love, or don't want to give me the credit, at least. Like,
Yeah.
well, look, I'm in your trenches, okay? Like,
Dude,
I'm here. Like, I ain't going nowhere
Yeah.
for a long time, so
Mm-hmm.
might as well fuck with me.
I feel that. Damn, that was a heavy hitter right there.
Yeah.
I've been to the top, and I didn't get along with them bitches. What when you got further along in your career, do you feel like you kind of got exposed to a group of people that you were like, nah, like,
Yeah.
I'm like, is that why you say, like, I'm gonna stay down here, like, in the trend, like, not so much in your career growth, but like in like your circle of people, like, I'm cool with my people here. I don't even.
Literally, that's what that line means. Like, I've seen, like, the fat
The
cat
vultures.
with the feast laid out in front of me, and it wasn't for me, bro. It's not what I wanted.
It was fake.
It was fake. It was like I had to kill who I was to be a part of them, and I didn't. I don't want that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Paso's home. That culture still like resides within you.
Yeah.
And let me see if I get the bar right. I slept in the van. I woke up in LA. When you take off and try to explore music in a different city, when you first did that, did you have like a direction immediately, or was this really like kind of like as literal as it can be in the lyric? Like, it's how we kind of just winged it and we figured it out while we were there.
Yeah.
Like, what was your first step when you like stepped out of El Paso?
The first time I left El Paso, I went to Vegas.
And what was the first move? What was the
First move was hitting the streets of Vegas with a mic and a speaker connected to a car battery.
Damn.
And performing to people who sometimes were nice, sometimes were mean. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
people would like talk shit to me. Some people would tip me. Some people followed me. Some people bought my album. And that was literally the first thing I did. And I knew I had to do it because it was going to force me to be serious about why I left. Because it's so easy and it's so common for people to leave their city for their dream and to get caught up in life and to leave it behind, or to put in the back burner, and then you just start living life. You know what I mean?
Like,
And then
like partying and stuff like that, and getting caught up in.
partying, or just like trying to survive, like
Life in
getting
general.
getting your job, and like maybe you get a girlfriend out there, boyfriend, and it's like you start living life.
Yeah.
And then your dream gets put on pause, or you just like put in the back for a little while. And then I've seen it so many times, bro. I've seen it so many times, and I wanted to make sure that didn't happen for me. And so that I got serious right away. I built, like, me and DS Junior, we built a studio in our homegirl Victoria's house, and we were just like, we went straight to music. And I started performing on the street. Boom, 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 boom. Made me a little money, made me a little gas money, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that was like, I could
The
help
hustle.
out. Because before I left, I saved up. I was a cosmetologist. I was like cutting hair, like doing facials and stuff like that. Like, when I decided I was gonna move, I started saving every single penny, bro. Like, I was even so serious about saving money that I wouldn't take my car anywhere but work. Like, if they're like, oh, let's go here. And nope, I'm not gonna take my car. Like I'm not gonna waste the gas. Like, I'm not gonna fill my gas up again. Like, I didn't eat out anywhere, bro. I was like making my lunch at home, taking that to work. Like I was literally like saving every penny. I did that for a couple months, and then that's when I left. So I had a little cushion when I left at first, but I knew it wasn't gonna last forever. I had a car payment and stuff, so I was like, okay, I need to contribute. So that's another reason why I wanted to hit the street.
Was that easy for you, or during that time where you were just like really strict? Was it like heavy FOMO? Were you like, damn,
Oh
man? I'm
yeah,
missing
yeah,
out?
dude. Because everyone, everyone at work, your friends are like they're going to the club, they're getting drunk. You know what I mean? They're having fun, and you're like Friday
Locked
night at
in,
home,
yeah,
like
in the trenches.
yeah, dude. And it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
And then all the hardest thing for me, I'm a foodie, bro. So like really holding it down and not going to get wings and just like I've been eating sandwiches for a whole week. Like I just want a burger right now.
I
Like
hate this
that's the
deli meat
hardest
right
part for
now.
me. Like to this day, like that's probably like where I spend the most money is just like going out to eat and stuff because I love food, dude.
Yeah, I feel you.
That's the hardest thing I think for people.
Um, when it comes to I had seen another interview of yours, and I think that you were discussing about like kind of the budget that goes into like upkeep for your artistry.
Yeah.
Um, like, can we talk about that a little
Yeah,
bit?
for sure, please.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have something to say about that.
What's on your mind with it?
So first thing I want to say is a lot of the times people sometimes they hit me up for like to make an appearance to do something, whether it's a photo shoot, whether it's a video shoot, like for me to model for them, like not necessarily do music, like just to for like my face.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's gonna be a quick 30 minutes, 1 hour. And I'm like, motherfucker, it takes me 4 to 5 hours to get ready. And that's me, like I can do it on my own, but I also have a makeup artist. Like, like he needs to get paid somehow. Like, how is he gonna benefit from this? If he doesn't do it, then that's all the stress on me, getting my hair, getting my makeup, getting my outfit, getting there. Like to do your little 30-minute moment, like it's a lot of work for me because I can't just I could if you want, I'll put on some glasses and a hoodie, no makeup, I'll put a mask on, but you're not gonna want that. You know what I mean? You want the full effect. It's hard, guys. Full effect takes 4 to 5 hours. So keep that in mind when you want to book me. And then people complain when I say, okay, well, it's gonna be this much, and it's like, what, for 30 minutes? And I'm like, it's not 30 minutes for me, bro. It's an hour. It's 4 hours and 30 minutes for me. You know what I mean? So that's what I have to say about that.
Get your facts straight, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
For real. Hey, so with 4 hours of getting ready, for these appearances and kind of creating this image, creating this Crystal Poppin brand, what do you think? Because I guess when an outsider might look in, they might think that it's a really like big lifestyle, and at this point, I'm sure it's a very fast paced lifestyle, rock star. I think it doesn't matter what genre you are, rock star lifestyle. If you're a
Yeah.
musician, rock star lifestyle.
Yeah.
What do you think that as that brand's grown? Do you think that there's anything that might have begun to be like misunderstood about you that you feel like people don't really know about you because of the fact that you have like this bigger brand now?
Yeah, I think a lot of people think that I just wake up and I took a cute picture and I'm on the internet all day and that's what I do and like I put out a song and like that's what it is and it's so easy and it's like fool, like damn, like if you only knew the shit I go through
Mm-hmm.
to make everything happen, to make everything possible, the mental strain that this takes, I wouldn't want to be doing anything else. I'm gonna put that out there first and foremost. This is what I love. This is my passion, and I love doing this every single day. But it takes so much. So it's a lot of time. It's a lot of energy. It's a lot of effort, and I think people also want to discredit me because I make it look so easy. Like everyone thinks a lot of people. One time, my homegirl saw me getting ready, and she was like, "Wow, I didn't know it took all of this." And she's like, "I thought you just." That's what she did. I thought you
Woke up
just.
like that?
Yeah, and I was like, "Nah, girl. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and to be on top of all of that, the music's got to be good." And that takes the most from me personally. Like I really don't even care about the rest, but the music has to be good. Like it has to be jamming. And that's my rule for myself. Like I can't put something out unless it's jamming. That's
The,
my
the image will fix itself
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
yeah.
I feel you, man. I had a question that had slipped my mind a bit, and hopefully I can get it back. But let's see here.
Can I ask something real quick?
Yeah.
When you started, when you were younger, and like you had those, we were talking about earlier how sometimes people have thoughts in their head, and you kind of want to get them out.
Yeah.
Did that start off first with journaling, or did you like kind of already had in mind of like, nah, it's gonna become like a poem that might turn into a song?
No, dude, I didn't think about music till, okay, like this is how it happened. So it was journaling at first. Like at first I was just like putting all my thoughts on a notebook, and it wasn't even like a dedicated notebook at first. It was just like I had to write it out. Whatever I could grab, like I would write it out. One time I was like going through something and I was crying and stuff, and the only thing I had next to me was like this gift wrap roll. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like who you wrap gifts with?
Uh-huh.
That was the only thing next to me, and I grabbed it and I grabbed a permanent marker and I wrote like that whole, like I don't know how long I wrote, like it was full of words.
Mm-hmm.
It was like all this like emotions, and I had tears on it and stuff like that, and I just had to get it out. And I'm like okay, so that's what got me through that. But what had happened was I um I ran into people that made music, and I rapped at a party. They were like they had a cipher going on, and I just jumped in and I like rapped one of these like things I had written. Because my journal sometimes would rhyme on its own, but I wouldn't say like, this is a poem or I'm gonna turn this into a song, because I never thought about music like that.
It just came out that way.
It just came out like that, and so then I spit one of those like rhyming verses I had, and then I went to the studio with them, and then I started like that's when I made my first song. And after I made my first song, I was like this is sick.
Yeah,
I want to do
I
this.
could do this.
Yeah.
Do you write like on physical paper, or do you?
Yeah, I'll do both.
Okay.
Like it's easy for me to be on my laptop with the headphones with the beat looping and stuff for me to write. That's when I want to get it done for sure. Like if I'm on my own and stuff, but sometimes, or I just write on my notepad and my phone. But like writing words out on the notebook, like I still do that, because for me it's like I connect more with the words. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like you're
It feels
physically
different,
doing it.
right?
Yeah, it feels different. So I'll still do that for sure. But the only reason I don't do that too much is because like if I find myself in like a studio situation randomly, because I do that all the time. Like the other day I was in a hotel room with Paula Deanda and Frankie J, and we made a song like in South by Southwest, and I was just like, oh, let me pull up my phone, and like look at my lyrics, and then have my notebook at that moment. And I've ran into that several times where I'm like, fuck, like there was a really dope verse I had written in this notebook when it's at home, and like I don't have it on me, but I always have my phone on me, so it's really easy to recall stuff like on my phone.
Yeah,
Mm.
I feel that. I'm more of a typer,
Mm-hmm.
just because I feel it just takes a little too long sometimes to write. But
Yeah.
I feel what you mean by it connecting, because like nobody ever really says like, oh, with my typing game, or they say their pen game. So like,
Right.
there's something more sacred
Right.
with writing it on paper.
Yeah.
So we were talking about being super busy, kind of to the point where people might just think they see what gets posted and they think oh, it's an easy ass lifestyle and everything. But
Yeah.
like can we talk about the transition between from DS to Smooth?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What was the reasoning for changing management, and then what have you learned, and what have been the new experiences with your? I'm assuming this is your second official manager.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So, DS came into the picture, and I feel he really helped me develop as like an artist. Like he was very knowledgeable on the music.
Okay.
So he taught me music. He taught me how to record myself. He taught me about scales and like everything. He helped, like he's a really good singer as well, so he helped me train my voice. Like I'm gonna say DS Junior developed Crystal Poppin'.
Okay.
For sure. And he taught me how to teach myself, a lot in a lot of ways too. So he took me really far, and then we met the industry. And he doesn't like have those connections, experience, like like in the industry. So we both kind of realized like you need an industry manager, someone with that Rolodex of like contacts, like someone who can plug you into these festivals and to these like these sessions with these artists and stuff. So we realized that like a little while ago actually. And then when I moved back to El Paso in 2023, um then Smooth just like hit me up because that's when I left a really I've been in 2 toxic label situations.
Okay.
It was that first one in LA, and then there was one in Houston. And I left the Houston one, moved back to El Paso, and then Smooth had got wind of me leaving that situation. And he was like, "Hey, how you doing?" Like just checking up on me because I had known him for a couple years already, and he had always wanted to work with me, but I had already like the situations going on. So when he was like, "If you need anything, let me know," because he's like, "I believe in you. Like I know you got what it takes. Like I love your music. Like let me know what you need." And once I like got settled into El Paso, um, I was I was like, I was getting like, damn, like what do I do? Like what's gonna happen? Like what's my next move? And me and Smooth just got on the phone one day and we just talked for a long time. And he was just like, "Look, I know what you need to do. I can help you. Um, been in this game for a long time. Like he was already managing artists like before that. And he's like, let's work. Like, let's get down. Like, let's see what we can do." And then I was like, all right. And he's like, "I'm gonna shoot you a few beats. Let's start there." And one of the beats he shot me was a Villain Era beat.
Oh,
Yeah. And I was like, and that was a really I grabbed that beat and I was like, he's like, do that one, do that one. I'm like, all right, cool. Dude, fucking threw everything out. Like when I'm saying like karma burning through my chest, I recollect on my regrets. Like literally I felt like I was getting kicked in the ass because of karma at the time, and I just like and it was like hurting me emotionally. Like I literally like Villain Era, like it sounds all funny and stuff like, but I'm really talking my story on there a lot of the times. Like there's several instances where I'm like it's real life shit. And I got it out and then I sent it to him because he kept bugging me. He's like, "Where's that song? Where's that song? Where's that song?" It's been like 2 days. And I was like, "Okay, look, this is what I got." And I didn't know it was like dope. Like I was like, "Okay, this is what I did. Tell me what you think." And I was kind of like hiding myself. And then he hit me back as soon as he's like, "That's what the fuck I'm talking about." And I'm like, "Oh shit." He's like, "I haven't heard you like this before." And I was like, "What? Are you serious?" And he was like, Bro, we gotta shoot something to that. Like he's like, "It's sick. He's gotta put that out. We gotta put that out." And I'm like, "Really? Like that's how you feel about it?" He's like, "Bro, like this is fire." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." And it's funny because Fresh, I even showed him on some random shit. Like, the day I showed Fresh, like there was a bunch of people in the room, and he was talking to our other homie and shit. They weren't even paying attention. And I told D, I was like, DS, I was like, "Hey, bro, put on Villain Era." And it was fresh. It was brand new. It was like a week old. And I was like, "Put Villain Era on." And it was just kind of like smoking and chilling and stuff. And then he put it on, and then everyone was like everybody, dude, everyone was like stopped what they were doing, and they're like, "What?" And then it's so quick. So when it ended, Fresh was like, hold up. He's like, "Put that back, run that back. Let me hear that shit again." And it was like, what the fuck? And then everyone was like, "Oh, okay." Like everyone fucked with it. And I was like, what is like that? Like, okay, cool. Um, yeah, and then we ran with it. So
Yeah.
and then we performed it. It's one of the dopest songs to perform.
Nice.
Yeah.
So the new connections, new new elements of music, but now and then even more so, there might even be other stuff that I might not know about, but popping OG,
Oh yeah.
popping OG. So now you're starting to do different ventures.
Yeah.
What how long had that been in the works? And how long have you been wanting to go ahead and also just become a brand bigger than music?
So me wanting my own strain, that was like years of me for sure. I was like, man, because I wanted to get into something for sure, but I wanted to get into something that could still correlate with my music.
Okay.
So I was like, what can I get into that was like still keep me around the music? And I was like, bro, it'd be so sick to drop a weed strain. Like, there's weed festivals, like specifically, like there's rappers that only rap about weed. Like, I was like, I could drop a strain, and then it would be like I could like rappers. I could give it to rappers, and I can rap about it, and like be at the shows and stuff. And it just made sense to me, but I just didn't know how to go about it. And there was a couple people that I was talking to about here and there, this and that. But finally, when I talked to Astro Buds, they were just kind of like, this is what we got to do. And I'm like, oh shit, okay, cool. Like let's get it started. Because it was a process for sure. It wasn't like a one day to the next kind of thing. It was like a process. I had to I sampled a bunch of different strains. I was giving them specifics about what I was
Just
looking
got
for.
a napkin tucked in,
Exactly.
your
I was
fork
like,
and knife. Like I'm ready to sample.
yeah, exactly. That's how it was. And I wanted it to be a strain that I agreed with, like
Okay.
myself, like what I could smoke and I can have it in my life. Cause I was telling y'all earlier that sometimes when I smoke like sativas, for example, like I get in my head and I just start freaking out and my anxiety just goes crazy. So, but then at the same time, there's some indicas that like just like I'll be writing and then like I just get like lazy and then I just put the song away. So I was like, okay, I probably need to do a hybrid, this and that. And then so I started explaining to Astro Buds like what I was looking for. And then they brought me some different things and I chose one during that time. I was like, maybe there was two, like I was like, okay, this one. So then they brought another round and I was like, okay, this one. And they're like, that's the one you chose last time. And I was like, oh shit. Okay, okay,
It's like
okay.
an eye doctor test, 1 or 2,
Yeah,
and you've been saying one the whole time.
exactly. So I was like, okay, I think I like this one.
Yeah.
So we spent some time like making sure that was the one. Then we started working on like the designs of everything. I was like, I
So
want
they helped you with all
unicorns.
that too, the branding of it.
Well, the branding was me and D
Okay.
for sure. So, but I was telling them like I wanted to be unicorns, and then D was like we made a couple different logos and stuff. The actual words, it's like kind of like a hippie
Yeah.
vibe, you know what I mean? So like I wanted it to be something cool, something pink for sure, because I noticed when I walk into dispensaries, there aren't too many things that are pink, like kind of like it's for everybody. I want to make sure that everyone knows that it's for everybody, but I definitely wanted women to feel like invited, for sure. Like
Yeah.
this is, like it's cool. Like all the cool girls smoke poppin' OG, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? For sure. Like this is, this is y'all thing too. So yeah, that's how that all happened, and then the party happened. So
Yeah.
now it's out there.
Starting the venture. Do you feel like? Well, I mean, I'm sure you get exposed a little bit to the specific, creating a strain process.
Yeah.
But did you learn? Like, do you feel like you already learned or already knew a lot about like what it meant to work with another company when it comes to that? Because I'm sure you have. Do you have any brand deals or anything like that?
No, actually, yeah. So that was definitely new for me, like business wise, to work with another business. Some like an established entity. That was definitely different because I've collaborated with artists before, different kind of things like that. But I never really collaborated with like a business, like a brand and stuff. So that was really cool. I'm learning still a lot about it, but I think that it's cool because Astrobud's like the owner Trox. He's actually a old time homie of DS Jr. So
Okay.
like, it's kind of like family love and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's really cool. Like it's so weird. Like everyone on the team, everyone around is kind of like integrated somehow, like homies. So
Yeah.
cool.
Do you feel like you're the type that when someone asks you about it, you can talk technical about it? Like, oh yeah, it's got this many whatever.
Like the terpenes and stuff.
Yes, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I'm still learning a lot about how to describe it
Okay.
properly and stuff like that. But from what I can tell you, it's a indica dominant hybrid, so it kind of like gives you that. It gives you that like hit, like it gets you high, but it doesn't knock you on your ass. Like it's
Yeah,
a
like a
perfect
full-blown
strain.
indica.
Yeah, it's a perfect strain for people who want to be inspired and productive, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. We talked about a little bit about your schedule
Yeah.
and how you kind of look at the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
But we kind of just talked about how you sort of go about planning it. Let's close off the conversation with what's ahead for Crystal Poppin', because I know that we kind of talked a little bit about having a live band now, but
Yeah.
what are your next moves? Is there like a series of shows that you plan on doing, or maybe locking
So,
in the studio? What's next?
yeah. So, I don't know in what order this is going to happen, but definitely what's going to happen this year is I'm going to go on a couple of tours. I want to do my own. I haven't headlined my own tour yet. I've
Okay.
just jumped on other tours, which is already in the works. Like there's tours like that I'll be a part of this year. But I really hope that I can lock in and make an album where I integrate the band and then we tour off of that album for a little while. I definitely want that to happen. I definitely want to get signed this year. Like that's like I want to make that happen. Um I want to start I don't want to say too much, but Papa No G, like stuff is coming
Yeah.
with this for sure. Like
Oh
expect
yeah.
some surprises with this. Um let me see. I want to collaborate with some big people that I'm in the talks with for sure. Um, the evolution by New Year's this year, like I also want people to be like, damn, like from the beginning of the year to now, like a lot has changed.
Yeah.
For sure, look wise, sound wise, stuff like that. I want to travel a lot more. I want to be in a couple cities to just create music. I want to go to Atlanta. I have a lot of people in Atlanta, a lot of people in Nashville that I want to go collaborate with, LA even. I just want to be all over the place, and I want every month to feel like I elevated, for sure. But yeah.
Through like one major thing.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I want there to be like a really big thing that happens every month that it takes me to the next step, to the next level, whatever you want to say. Like, because I'm trying to get to that arena in Japan, bro.
You could call March the South by Southwest month.
Yeah,
February the Midnight month. 'Cause that's
yeah,
when we did most
yeah.
of the stuff.
January was the baby blue.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. One more question, real quick.
Yeah.
What was it like working with AK, and how much of like that? I guess what was that process like? Not just with him, but every time that you do work with an artist that's
Mhm.
got a lot of they're like a highly reputable artist. What's it like, kind of getting through the weeds of that? I'm sure their emails are flooded. But how do you kind of like maneuver through that?
So, bro, AK reached out to me.
Oh, no.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, me? Me? So he reached out to me to be on his album a couple years ago.
Okay.
He's like, I think you're dope. I need a female artist. Jump on this. And then he gave me the song Flavors.
Mhm.
And it's like that was our first interaction. Like he hit me up and he wanted to work with me. And I
Yeah.
was like, bro, I've listened to you for so long. It's so crazy. Like I remember like bumping his shit, you know what I mean? So it was really cool.
Mhm.
Um but then that connection developed because like when after I turned in my verse and stuff, we just kept in touch. Like I would anytime he would drop something, I would show him love. A lot of times when I would drop stuff, he would show me love too. And it just like we kept that connection going. And then I moved to LA. And then when I was in LA, he was in LA. So then we linked up a couple times. Like I had a this thing at a club, like I had an appearance at a club and I was like, come through. And like he came through and like he would just like we would just interact with each other like that. And then one day I told him, I was like, hey, I have this song that I want you on, like on my song. And he was just like, I'm down. And like we had a studio session at my apartment in LA. And I was so nervous because I don't know if this is like, is he gonna like the setup? Like, oh my God, like I need to like, because I don't know how he worked. Like, because we made that our first song like through the emails.
Yeah.
And now like to see him work, I was like, oh my God, there's like a legend in my studio right now. Like, it was
Legends
so
only in the
crazy.
building.
Like, literally had his headphones on and he was just like listening to the beat and stuff. He was like writing. He wasn't even talking. Like I was like making sure everyone's like, leave him alone. Like he's cooking. I was like on the couch. He was like in a chair next to the mic.
Just like twiddling your thumbs.
Yeah. Like he was just like that, dude. It was so cool to watch.
Yeah.
And then he was like, okay, I'm ready. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like let's record him. And then he got into my booth, and then the booth was so cool because we built it out of like an IKEA like dresser thing. So that was the booth. Like we ripped out all the shelves, and then you open it like that, and then you go in and you close it. It was so cool.
Hey.
And he went in there, he recorded his verse for Baby Blue, and then because I already had all my parts done.
Yeah.
Like, it already had the hook and everything. So. And then he did his part, and I was like, oh my God, I have a song with AK the Savior now.
It's gotta be one of my favorite verses of yours, to be honest.
Thank
Baby
you,
Blue.
thank you, bro.
Yeah, I think that's a good representation of when you talk about your sound maturing.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel that way.
Definitely.
Yeah. Can I do one more?
Yeah,
One more
for
question?
sure.
When I wanted to see, like, when you're early in and you're not performing in the street and you're not like handing out a flyer, what are you doing digitally to like submit your music to kind of people? Are you doing that? Or because from what I feel like what I've learned from you a lot through this talk is there's a lot of humanity in collaborating with musicians. Like
Yeah.
if you just like form relationships over time and show love and get love back and all that,
Mhm.
collaborations like you and AK can happen. Not even just once. I didn't even realize that this was the second time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but there's still an element of having to push your music out digitally. So
Yeah.
where do you even begin? Like, are you submitting? It sounds like an ancient term now, but like, are you submitting to like a blog? Are you submitting to like editorials or anything like that?
I mean, That is definitely gonna like when you're submitting your music, you're just like making sure that it's getting more places, possible more possibilities. You're opening up more possibilities for sure. But what I would suggest that you focus on is making dope music. Get good at your craft. Um a lot of people like I would say, okay, if uh Kanye hit you up right now and told you give him a song and he'll jump on it, would you even have a song for him to jump on? Like if you had a big moment, are you even ready for it? So I would just say work on your craft, make dope music and make a lot of it. Be like just make hella music and make hella content for your music and um make quality stuff. Like make sure you're not just like doing whatever, you're not just like doing heartless music. Like even if you are turning up, like what's gonna make you different? Like figure that out, figure out your artistry, figure yourself out. But what do you want? What do you want to portray? What is your message? Like 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 find yourself, and
Yeah,
for sure there's people that can cut that, not a lot of times. It's like winning the lottery when you make your first song and it just happens, like Post Malone. But look how good Post Malone is, you know what I mean? Like he has a amazing skill. um I would say just focus on your craft, bro, and putting out quality. That's what I would say. And
find
then the
find your
right people will come
identity.
around. Yeah, find your identity.
And then you
and
get found in a way.
and yeah, and because the cool thing about that is that before anyone finds you, maybe you get fans before that, and then that's such a cool thing. Like when people actually want to listen to you and like actually like have you on rotation, know your lyrics at the shows, like that is a really cool feeling. And I think if you skip that and you just go if you did just go straight to the top, like a lot of people like they don't have that experience, so they don't know what to do up there sometimes. Like when you see like really big artists that can't perform, like that happens all the time.
Yeah,
So
that's
like
true, huh?
just
A couple
just
big names that I've been seeing stuff on Twitter where they're like, "Oh my god, they got like no stage presence," and it's because they
exactly
just get thrown into the wolves.
exactly yeah
So then, to answer that, would you say like relax, like just don't rush that shit,
yeah
focus more on just posting it?
yeah, get it out there, get it
It's a
out
pretty
there.
digital world. I mean, I don't really feel like you have to submit too much. Like shit gets found
It
in the
does.
algorithms.
Like you can just put something really dope out and then it makes its round somehow. If you make a really dope ass song, make a really dope ass visual to it, then also get behind that. Like don't be afraid to post it. Don't be afraid to get it out there. Don't be afraid to send it to people. Like that's when I would submit. Like sometimes when you people are like submit, like is it even like your best song? Like, is it even something that you're proud of? Like, do you want this to go viral? Like, I don't know. There's so much you can do. There's really so much you can do, honestly. But all I can say is what I did, right?
Yeah,
And what I did was I focused on my music. Even before I focused on my image. I really don't feel like I got my image till later on, really. Like I didn't really care. I mean, I cared as much as like a girl cares about the way she looks, like make sure my hair is good on camera. Like, okay, but I really don't feel like I focused on my image necessarily at first.
hmm,
I really just wanted a gem.
I feel you. Damn, Crystal popping.
Yeah.
It's been an honor to have you at the HQ.
Thank
You
you.
know how you had said that you feel like a lot of people had gone ahead and there not a lot, but like there's some misunderstanding as you get bigger and as you get a little bit more of like an audience.
Yeah.
Uh, I want to say one of the things, not so much in terms of like the hard work or the work ethic that goes into what you do, um, but I want to say the thing that I've been pleasantly surprised the most is how like kind of a person you are. I'm not to say that I
Oh,
thought that
thank
you were
you.
like a not kind person, but when
Yeah.
someone's so busy, sometimes kindness is hard to like really fit in because kindness
Yeah.
requires like sometimes sitting down real quick and like giving someone the time. You know what I
Giving
mean?
people
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like you are like a really pleasant person to be around. And I'm
Thank
not just
you.
like again, I didn't assume that it was the opposite, but I didn't expect it to be such a great experience to be working with you. And this conversation, it's really cool to learn a lot more about like your perspective behind your music and like your understanding and respect towards the craft that goes into creating the final output that people see.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to see where you go with this next chapter. It really
Thank you.
feels like you started off young,
Yeah.
and so right now where you're at is a very mature part of your career, but you still have so much time ahead to like still be crafting and
Right.
refining it, and it feels like the ceiling is you can't even see that shit. It's like
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah.
It's the sky, dog. It's just the sky.
Yeah.
Been moonwalking
Yeah, moonwalking was the
for real.
that's cool. I appreciate that. I like because I've heard that before, and I think that you don't expect people like to treat people like humans, and have that decency. I've ran into people like that.
Yeah.
All the time, all the time. You run into people who like don't even like look at you when they like were walking or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and I always want to keep that about myself because I was mistreated as a young person, and I never want to make people feel like that. Like I was like bullied in high school, like in mid, like my whole school career. Like I
Yeah.
was not cool. I was not the cool kid at all. By whatever means you think, and I always want to make people feel special because that's how I wish people treated me.
Yeah, I feel you. Respect
You're
it.
very genuine. I love your energy.
Thank you, dude. Thank you.
Can't wait to see you in Tokyo.
Dude, y'all better be there. It's gonna happen. I see it. I see it so clearly. For real. That's what I want.
Mount Fuji just in the view back there.
You know
Boom.
what I'm saying? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
hell yeah.
Straight up, dude.
You're gonna be there.
Yeah.
Straight up. Crystal, thank you so much once more.
Thank you.
At the HQ. You know how we do it over here, man. Legends only in the building, dog. So make sure that y'all go ahead and show love. Crystal, actually, where can motherfuckers find you at?
So you guys can find me everywhere at Crystal Poppin. That's Crystal with a K and 2 L's. Don't misspell. And Poppin with a silent G because the G is silent. Okay? Crystal Poppin. Everywhere. Follow me, subscribe, like and subscribe, all of that shit. The thing about an independent artist is we depend on the streams, views, likes, follows. We really need that. So
Where can they find Poppin'
it up.
OG at?
you can find Poppin' OG. It's currently only at Astro Buds in Chaparral, New Mexico, but we are working on getting into other dispensaries. And just keep an eye out for what's to come with that because there's a lot more to come.
Yep. There we go.
Yeah.
For sure, man. Make sure that y'all show love to the gram on MF Pro as well. Make sure. So you.
I was gonna say, keep an eye out for my movie Lost Souls.
Oh,
Also,
okay.
she's an actress.
Yeah.
Actress now.
Yeah, Lost Souls. Is official release date?
Official release date. It'll be in New York in May 3rd. It's also gonna be in Dallas, Texas Theater. I believe that's what it is. Shortly after that, it's gonna be in select theaters.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna start acting now too. So.
Hell yeah. Very good. Yeah, man. Lost Souls, Poppin' OG, Crystal Poppin'. Make sure you guys are showing support, man, because I think that was an important thing to say is that independent artists really depend on the support of their audience. But same here, man. Let me go and do my plugs real quick, dog. Hey, man, 2 more days, 3 more days, something like that. Against the Grain's going to be here, bro. 5-year celebration. It ain't easy to get to the 5-year mark. For real, it's not. And so I'm going to be excited when we get to the 10-year mark. Crystal, it's going to be a big thing for us.
There you go.
But mfpro.com/grain. Get your tickets. Live performances, Crystal Poppin', A Billy Free and the Lasso, Groovy Smokes, and Stan Z with a lot of dope shit, man. Frontera, Moy the Artist, La Planta. We got an MF curated market to join the music. Let's get it, dog. Tickets are still on sale. They're going to be on sale at the door, too, man. Just make sure you get them online. They're cheaper online. Yo, make sure you guys keep showing love. YouTube, make sure you guys subscribe. If you guys are checking this out on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, all that shit, all the platforms, wherever you find your podcast at, like it, share it, all that shit. But hey, every Wednesday, dog, big conversation, good people, legends only. You can even reverse that, it still makes sense. Good conversation, big motherfuckers in the building, legends only, dog. Live at MFHQ. Yup.